Hi. Welcome to the chaos. As usual, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm going live, like now. So prepared, so professional. Give me 1 second, everybody. Okay, got my card bases ready to go. Okay, hi everyone. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face, my card making space. We are live, unscripted, unfiltered, literally pure chaos. Always. Even though I did a bunch of prep today. I did a bunch of prep. I tweaked a little bit of my back, so that's a little bit annoying more than anything. I have a code to share with you all, an exclusive one, all kinds of fun things. And yeah.
He's under a bookshelf by our bedroom.
You can't get him out. That's hilarious. Well, we'll see. Maybe later you'll be able to get him out to, so I can just be like, look it. We're babysitting our grand cat for the next couple days and what have you. And I was hoping I could just show him, you know, be like, look at him. He's adorable. And of course, as soon as like Chris went to try and wrangle him, he's hiding. He's like, no. Even though he loves being in here. He likes hiding in the corners here in the garage, which fun times. Anyway, yeah, I was unsupervised for a minute when he went out to try and get the cat, but of course, they live on their own schedule. They don't do what we want them to do, you know? So, and literal chaos with that, because I've mentioned in live streams as well, our neighbor's cat basically owns this place too. Likes to come over here, hang out with us, cuddle, everything. He's very angry. He's very angry that we have betrayed him with another creature. It's literal chaos. I've got the outside cat spitting and hissing and attacking all of us, and then the inside one hiding under everything. And life it's fun. It's fun. And yeah, no, my back will be okay. I like tweaked something. I got like, yep, but we'll survive. Anyway, so everything's good. Housekeeping. Where are we at? I have an exclusive code to share with you guys. So I have to like move a few things around here. So I will first show what is like part of the code. Watercolor brushes and the Petal Palette. So Altenew has 3 different sets of watercolor brushes. They've got and that one. So there's and my brain already stopped. There's a specific name for these ones, and I always forget every time. These are the watercolor foundation brush set. So it's a set of 7 watercolor brushes. These are the newest ones with the big clear handles. I've used these already in a ton of videos. These are the Artist Watercolor Brushes Round, which there's also a case for these. Let me grab it and I'll just show it to you guys. I keep mine just in a cup. Oh, come here. Oop. I got stuff okay. And before we get to the code, let's interrupt and show off. I don't want you guys on the screen, but I can show off my grandcat. Come here, Gigi. Come say hi to the audience. This is Gigi. This is my grandbaby. You just want to go hide? Yeah. He's very cute. Oh, yeah. So yeah, he is our big baby, and he's already like looking for places to hide. Yeah, you want to go hide? Here, you go down. Find your hiding spot. Okay. So that was Gigi, and he is now gonna go most likely in the very back corner where none of us can get, and he just hangs out there and only comes out when we shake the food bag, and then he's just like. So that's our little Gigi cat, and he's just very chill. very chill, very quiet, very cute. And yeah, most of the time you only know he's around because he's got a little bell on his collar and you just hear a little tinkle tinkle here and there. And he's extremely affectionate when it's mealtime, and then he's your best friend and loves you forever. So that's Gigi. So yeah, he's a goofy. And yeah, I can hear him. He's heading to get behind my calyx units. Yeah, he's been hanging out with me the last couple days, just like just dead silent. He just naps in here as far away from everyone as possible. So, okay, yeah, he's a cute little goober. So, okay, back to what we're doing. So, before I got interrupted, watercolor foundation brush set. The round brush set. This set comes with a case. I actually have 2 of these. I bought a second set forever ago. Do you need 2 sets? No, you don't. But it's nice because it also has the cord, so you can do it so that it's like propped up, keep it all fancy. Do I do that? No, I just keep all my brushes like in a mug. But it is nice because then you can travel with it. And then these are the fine brush set. And I don't use these ones as often, but I did in a recent video because I was doing some more detailed, like delicate little watercolor. And yeah, so these 3 sets, as well as the Petal Palette, which love, absolutely love. It's got gold and it's amazing and I love it. You can get 40% off. Today and tomorrow only. I have an official graphic for it. So you can get 40% off any of these brush sets, or all of them if you want to go completely nuts, and the Petal Palette with my exclusive code AmyLive11. I have links to the brush sets, etc. in the description box below the video. And yeah, thank you to Altenew for giving me this fun code. And yeah, I like it. It's awesome. So that is the code special for today. Yeah. There is also other sales, etc. going on at Altenew. I have them if you want to post my sales page. I have it because I updated it as much as I could. I have, because there's free US shipping. Is that what it was? Let me double check. I got to refresh my own sales page. I was updating it. There's free US shipping. That one ends today. No code needed. Let me scroll down. There's free US shipping, orders over $49. That ends today. No code needed. There's also a deal on the black Instant Dimension foam tape bundle, 40% off. That is today only. No code needed. And then that's basically it. There's other sales and stuff sprinkled throughout their website, but yeah, those were the main ones. So, have black tuxedo cat. Any Crafty do contains black fur. Oh yeah, there cat fur everywhere. It's just he doesn't shed a ton. But he brings out all the dust bunnies especially when he's hiding in here with me in the garage. When we were able to get him out from his hiding spot, he just came out covered in dust bunnies. He loves them. And then the neighbor cat that is very angry. I'm covered in cat hair because he was rubbing up against me, and then he made his intentions. He's mad. He's very mad that we betrayed him. It's a lot of drama. We've got the whole Romeo and Juliet, the Montagues. Yeah, what's the other family? The Capulets, the Montagues, 2 houses divided. That's what's going on right now. So, okay. So those are the current deals. And because it's watercolor themed, we're going to do some watercolor. But I'm going to do simple. We're not gonna go completely nuts. Cat hair sticks amazingly well as sticky mats. Oh, I believe it. I've been finding random cat hairs on all kinds of things, especially like, yeah, get stuck to your face. That's always like, you know. Anyway, okay. So we are gonna do some watercolors. So let me move some things out of the way because I've, you know, pulled out all my show and tell and all this stuff. Okay. Okay, let me figure out what I'm doing. Was there any other housekeeping things I needed to mention? I don't remember.
You can mention how awesome I am.
How awesome you are. My unpaid intern is awesome.
That's right.
Where's my payment? Because I'm not paying you, but if you want like extra compliments, like I'll send you the bill afterwards, I guess, since you don't have any cash on you.
I have $10.
You have $10 whole dollars? Okay, there you go. He's $10 of awesome Canadian money, which looks fake, but just for because some people get really, because I guess if they haven't been here,
No.
it's Canadian money fascinates people because our money isn't paper. It's plastic, and there's like holographic little bits, and yeah, Canadian money is actually kind of cool. When they first rolled this out, how many years ago was this?
Oh, it's almost been a decade, I think.
I think it's been at least 10 years. Yeah, when they were first rolling out the new like Canadian money, I was like side-eyeing it, but yeah, no. It's cool. Here's the back of it. Our money is pretty. We have pretty money. So there's my whole $10 for giving them compliments. Oh my goodness. I call them dust kitties instead of dust bunnies. Yeah. I mean, really, they kind of are, especially in the garage, because there's a lot, all my like book, just there's a lot of good spots. Like it's now dead silent in here. So he found his hiding spot. He's curled up. He's happy. Everything's good. Anyway, Monopoly money. I know our Canadian money is kind of different. Actually, yeah. And I have other money sitting here. I can show you guys. Here's a 20. Didn't even need your 10. I got other cash here. Huh. But yeah, there's the Canadian. There's the Canadian 20. So, yeah, it's neat. And like it's see-through. See-through and holographic and all the things. It's cool. It's cool, man. So anyway. Okay. Yes. He's so unpaid that he has to pay you for compliments. Yeah, that's about accurate, really. I think I do give him enough compliments, or especially when he leaves, and then I say nice things about him.
Yeah, and you grab my butt a whole bunch.
I do grab your butt a lot. That's just you keep asking for it. Anyway, okay. So, let me flip the camera down. Let's actually get into making something. So, first off, watercolor paper. This is Altenew's hot press watercolor paper, which I've talked about this a lot. I don't even know if I'd be able to. I wonder if I can show. Let me grab their cold press. I'm not sure if I can if my camera will pick up the difference. Where is my? There it is. I was like, where is my cold press? There it is. So, when it comes to watercolor paper, there are tons of different types. There's three general types. There is hot press, cold press, and rough press. Now, in card making, I had a cat hair right on the end of my nose. Okay. In card making, rough press watercolor paper, I pretty much never use ever. That one really, it's for more specific things and more watercolor artists that really want that like texture and all of that kind of thing. I just don't work with rough press. Now with hot press and cold press, the difference is just it's the way it's made. When it's hot press, they use heat and it really presses the fibers and you get a very, very smooth finish. Caveat. In theory, a lot of card makers want hot press because with that smooth finish, you can stamp, detailed stamps, etc. As someone who has been dabbling with watercolor for well over a decade now, I'm not the biggest fan of hot press watercolor paper, the majority of which is, again, very smooth. Water sits on it funny because it's compressed in that way, and the heat, it almost repels water a bit, and I get annoyed with it. So most of the time I prefer cold press. The only exception that I've come across so far is Altenew's hot press watercolor paper. Theirs is not super, super smooth like other brands. It still has a little bit of tooth to it, but not a ton. So, I can kind of show. So this, with the texture, is cold press. This is Altenew's cold press. This is their hot press. So you kind of see, like, it's not super smooth, but it is smooth. But it's not that almost like paper cardstock style smooth that a lot of watercolor paper brands do for hot press. This still has that little bit of texture to it. And then when it comes to watercolor paper, because I do get asked this a lot, so this is cold press. This is the rough side. Again, not super textured. You know, it's got a bit. And then this is the back, which is actually very similar to Altenew's hot press. So I get asked a lot what side I use, and then with the hot press, it doesn't really make. With the hot press, it's kind of the same on both sides. I get asked a lot, which side do I use? It just depends. If I'm stamping something with detail, you know, a lot of fine lines, things like that, I will either use the smoother side of any cold press paper, but I really like Altenew's hot press. I've been using this a lot, and it's one of my faves. It's right on screen. Oh, you couldn't really see it. 300 GSM is their hot press. Their cold press is also 300 GSM. There are options. I've only linked to this, but there are different options on the Altenew website. These are the hot press pack is 5x7 loose sheets. They've got bigger packs. They've got these ones that are A2 size. I do like the convenience of like the individual pieces. Again, it's kind of nice. But yeah, I hope that kind of explains the difference within reason. And it also is just sort of a personal thing, but I've used a lot of watercolor papers, all the way from like the super, super cheap, you know, really cheap. And I still do. I use cheap watercolor paper in a lot of my videos, all the way up to like the higher end, like artist quality, you know, professional quality, like the good stuff. I hoard the good stuff. Get whatever paper, the most best quality you can afford. Paper makes the biggest difference. I genuinely love, specifically, Altenew's hot press. I've been using it a lot, and I really like it because it's not too smooth, doesn't have a lot of texture, and that's what we're going to use today. So that's kind of the like sort of explanation in a nutshell. But yeah, easiest way to remember, again, in theory, because Altenew's is a little bit of an exception, is like cold press has more texture to it. Hot press is a lot smoother. This is smoother, but it's not as smooth. Because because I had him on me. I have cat hair everywhere. It's just fallen off of me. Anyway, so we're going to do just two at once. Because why not? Why not? You know? And I'm not doing anything crazy. So I just have a hardboard here. You can use, I have a link to it. These are pretty cheap. Mine I've had for a million years. Again, it's stained. Don't care. A cutting board works. I have things like the chipboard backing from watercolor packs. I'll show that. I keep those. Especially if they're thick. I have some chipboard backing from previous watercolor packs. Like these are heavyweight. I keep these and I use them as hardboards because they're convenient, and especially with things like when I'm doing a bunch of backgrounds, whether it's watercolor, sprays, what have you, I have things like this where I can just lay them on top and set them aside because I never have enough space, you know, for things. So I have a pile of these, but hardboards, love. One of my most used tools. So I have a hardboard, and the point of it, let me put this away first. The point of a hardboard, there we go, is to keep my background sort of flat because we're going to slap on a whole bunch of water. And you want a low tack tape. Again, I really like Altenew satin tape. This stuff is low tack, is nice. And you want low tack because you don't want to be tearing your paper. I am not concerned at all about the tape being perfectly straight because we are going to cut these down because they are 5x7. I'm going to cut these down to like A2 size for my cards. So I am, like I said, I'm not concerned about margins. So I just want these taped down because when you add water to any paper, but especially like watercolor paper, the more water you add, paper naturally just wants to curl, you know? And you don't want all the color running off all the edges. So that's where hardboard, again, chipboard, cutting board, something that you can tape it to hold it flat, and then you're good. So we're just gonna tape these panels down. Is that different than purple tape? Not sure what purple tape you're referring to. If you're referring to like Easy C tape, I would say this is similar. This would be a lot more cost effective because Easy C tape only comes in a... There it is. I was like, where'd my Easy C tape go? You only get a little, like, that's the Easy C tape that I like to use. I use this for taping like die cuts and stuff too. They're similar. Not quite the same. They're kind of different materials, but like less than half as wide, and you only get, I'm not sure how much on here, but a roll of satin tape will last a really long time. So, yeah. Another option is painter's tape. I've used that a million times over too, over the years. Painter's tape, you just have to be a little more careful even than this, because painter's tape can still really grip to paper and like tear it. So it's more just, if the tape you have is a little too sticky, you can like stick it to yourself a few times, you know, pick up the oils and the dust and whatever, stick it to your clothes, get a little bit of lint on it so it's not so sticky. The one tape I would avoid is like anything strong and like masking tape, you know, that kind of stuff. I would be very hesitant with, because it could get, you want low tack tape. So, and you especially want low tack tape if you are wanting to preserve like the border. You know, you want this whole panel, you're going to use this whole panel as is, you want your border specific, and you don't want to lose any of it. Low tack tape, so that you're not going to like tear anything. But again, I'm going to cut these down. I got extra margin space, so we're good. Okay. So, cat hair, not only a fashion accessory, it tastes great too. Yeah, I don't think it's, you know, he does smell nice. Whatever they bathed him with, you know, recently, because when I was holding him earlier, I was just like, he smelled very nice. Anyway, okay, so we got that. I'm gonna use one brush for this, just this big wide brush from the round brush set, and yeah, and then for the actual watercolor, I'm gonna use watercolor tubes, which we can do. What I'm gonna do, you can do with pretty much anything, any type of watercolor, pans, cakes, inks, whatever floats your boat. I jump between a million different things because I do. I can't help it. I have all of the Altenew watercolor tubes, of course, and I just keep them in a little box like this, and they just make me happy. A tube of watercolor will last a person an insane amount of time. Like, this is a lot. Like, this is an 8mm, which is kind of standard size tube. Especially for card makers, these will probably like a set like this would probably last a person for the rest of their life, you know, unless this was your only coloring medium. Like, I have so much watercolor, this will last me for the rest of my life. And with watercolor tubes, you can do two things with them. You can either use them direct from the tube, which is what we're going to do today, or you can put them into pans, you know, and then let them dry. And that will take days usually to fully like cure, but that's the same thing you would get in like a watercolor palette that has the pans already done. Same stuff, you know? So I'm using, and I'm only using 2 colors. I'm using Ivory Black and Phthalo Blue. You're welcome.
Othello?
Yeah, Phthalo Blue. He watched like a Bob Ross marathon not long before he met me, and now everything is Phthalo Blue just because he's a troll. But yeah, when we go anywhere and he's just like, I know that color.
It's Othello blue.
Bob Ross and the Phthalo Blue. I forget exactly what colors he'd always put in his palette. It was generally always the same ones though.
Titanium white.
Titanium white, Phthalo Blue. And yeah, there was like like the basic colors. Anyway.
And no green.
He's always, every time I have a blue watercolor, he's like, is that Phthalo Blue or Phthalo Blue? I'm like, stop it. Anyway, yeah, your $10 worth of compliments have run out, so I'm not giving you any more. Okay. So we're just using these.
You're like one of those things I have to keep paying money to like, keep the ride going.
Okay. So then, I know, Bob Ross was a... Yes, you can also use heat tool, soften tape. Yeah, we'll get to that. We will get to that. Okay. Yeah. So, we're going to use Alzerian Crimson. Yes, that's another color Bob Ross would use. So, you don't need much. Like, this is concentrated color, you know, watercolor. And depending on what you're working on. Another aspect of the tubes is for, you know, when people want to do like big watercolor background stuff. Because then with tubes, you can like custom mix and have like as much as you need ready to go. We're card makers. You don't need much. Like, I'm going to put this little dot. That little dot's probably more than I need. So I'm heavy-handed, but I think he'll be good. And then a little bit of Ivory Black. We're gonna just stick him. We also don't need much of that either. Okay. And then in his happy little trees. Oh yeah. Bob Ross is it was just so cozy. You know? He was so chill. And just nice. And just, you know, happy little trees. And yeah. I am kind of like the complete opposite to Bob Ross. I am pure chaos incarnate. I am 3 raccoons in a trench coat, man. Jimothy is my life. You gotta just, Jimothy. Amazing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, oh my gosh, you're missing out on pure joy. More videos popped up of him in like people's backyards.
Oh yeah.
And it just makes me happy. I love Jimothy. Anyway, I love raccoons in general. It's a good thing they're not really around here at all because... yeah, yep, they would be living in my house, knowing my luck. Okay, I have a cloth off to the side, just to kind of like wipe my brush on. And, okay. Oh, what causes paint to crack when it is in pans? Dryness. When they crack, you can just re-moisten them. Add some water, and then just let it fully dry before closing the lid again. And it'll kind of like rework it and bring it back together. But yeah, it's just the nature of, especially like the shallower style of watercolor pans that are very, so that the actual watercolor cake is very thin, which some Altenew's compact palettes are like that. Those can crack pretty easily. And I drop things all the time. So they will like crack, break apart, whatever. And I just get them wet. I'll even just drop in a few drops of water and just let it sit. And it fuses it all back together, and we're good. Because broken watercolor, pans, cakes, what have you, still work. They work. They work great. Okay. So, and then, there we go. So, we are just starting with technically clean water, but my brush is a little bit dirty, but I don't really care. I genuinely don't care. I don't care. So, we're just going to get it wet. And I think I'm just going to do both of these at the exact same time. Because I'm just going to do... and I got other fuzzies too. Again, simple. Just a very, very simple background. Oh, I got a delivery.
Did you?
Yeah. Cool. Anyway,
They usually don't work Sundays.
so, no, they usually don't, but maybe the one is working to make up for the mess they made a few days ago, remember?
Yeah.
So, anyway, so we're getting it wet. And wetting the paper just means things are gonna like blend easier. So, we start with wet paper, just like that. There we go. There we go. Okay. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to start mixing these because I kind of want a more muted sort of gray blue. So that's why I'm mixing the phthalo blue and the black.
It wasn't yours.
It wasn't for me. Oh, I was hoping I was getting a surprise. So yeah, I want just a muted blue, kind of gray blue. That's what I'm going for here. So we've got that. We're starting with that, and we're just slapping it on. Just like that. Really simple. So we've got that. And then we do the next one. And normally I would only do like one background at a time, but because I'm doing these like the same, basically, I don't have a problem with this. So we'll just slap this on. And then, there we go. Okay. Now, I'm going to continue doing this, but I'm going to keep adding like more color and less water to get like stronger and stronger shades of this this muted blue combo. So we'll just keep, I'm barely even touching the little actual like tube watercolor there. And then, who what? Oh, are they? Hooray, I missed that. I don't even see it.
It's at the very bottom.
Oh, there we go. It just showed up now on my end. I was like, what are you talking about? Hello, Altenew's here. Hello. I always forget to send them, inform them. Like, I'm going live at this time. Nah, you know? Anyway. Okay. So, as I'm getting, like, more intense color, because right now, this isn't much, but I'm only covering part of it. Like, I'm kind of doing, like, a fade. I want it to be, like, darkest at the top and then just fade, you know, as it goes down. And again, we are not worried about perfection or any of that. Watercolor is fairly forgiving. And then we're going to keep adding more color. Just mixing these two together. A little bit more of that black. More color, less water. So that I can continue to just build depth onto these backgrounds like this. So, like that. There we go. And again, continue more color. Get that ivory black in there to tone her down, because this is just what I've been obsessed with lately, is very toned blues. I don't know. I've been enjoying it. Okay, so more color, less water. And painting that on. And because everything is still wet, it's all just like blending into each other. A bit more. Like that. I like. And then we'll continue. More color, less water. Mixing these two together. Like that. See, as I keep building that depth. Like that. Yes. And the other thing you always also need to remember with watercolor is it is going to dry back, you know? So what you see as you're applying the color, it will lighten up quite a bit as it dries, because that's just the nature of watercolor. There we go. Yes. A little bit of water, because I'm just getting to where I want this to be. A little bit more of the black. A little more of the blue. Oh yeah. There we go. And then more depth. And we're just dragging that darkest color from the top. And because everything's taped down, you know, it's held in place. You can't really tell on camera, but like the watercolor paper itself is like, you know, curving up a tiny bit. But because it's taped, it's not gonna fully, you know, do that. A little bit more. There we go. So then, is it Mitzi behind the badge with Altenew? I missed it. Did you see it?
I didn't see.
Did she say?
I think they said.
Oh yeah, it's Mitzi.
Oh.
Hi, Mitzi. Okay. Ooh yeah, this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. And now I'm trying to move a little faster only because like I can tell it is starting to dry more because again, I'm in my garage, I'm doing two at once and I'm trying to multitask like just a smidge, you know, just a smidge. So yeah. Boop. I think this works. I think this is gonna work. In fact, I'll take a little bit of water like that. Ooh, that was a little more than I wanted. That was a little more than I wanted, but also not a big deal. Here we go. I'm okay with this. Let's add just a bit here because I just want to change. There we go. I wanted to get more of a, just a different sort of look because why not? They don't need to be the exact same. And they wouldn't be anyway. They wouldn't be anyway. You know? So that one's got a bit of a darker. Let's add a bit of this, more of this ivory black. Even more. Not bad, considering I thought I'd have more than I needed. I did of the black, but not of the blue. I'm always kind of the worst judge of exactly how much I need. I'm okay with this. I am okay with this. This is good. And it is going to be lighter. And the streakiness I'm fine with too. You can like work on that. Depending on what you're doing, but I don't mind the little bit of streakiness. I kind of think it just adds to it. So we just need to dry this and add splatter. There's plans. Okay, actually this I'm going to clean off because we're going to need this palette for my splatter. So with tube watercolors, you can just leave it on your palette. You can leave it on there, let it dry, and then you can reactivate it later and make more things with it, like continue to watercolor with it. There's not much on here because I managed to use up most of it. And because I use my palette for 5 million other things. So we're just going to go like that. Clean that off. And then I'm going to dry this with my heat tool. You can let it air dry. With something like a background, there is no difference. It's like, because sometimes with some things, using a heat tool can like change how it's going to look or whatever, but 99% of the time it's fine. Can you turn that fan on, please? I'm starting to sweat. Whew. Okay, we're going to dry this because it needs to be dry before before I can add splatter, because otherwise the splatter is going to just bleed into everything. There. Yep, thank you. And you just want to keep your heat tool moving so that you're not like burning your paper, burning the tape, anything like that. Background noise is heavy rain. Yeah, these could totally be like rainy backgrounds. Yes. I've even done ones in the past where I purposely would load up like around here. I've done videos in the past where I would take a brush like a large round brush, etc., load it up with like water and color and like go like this with it and then hold my board up so it would drip down and create like a drippy runny effect. I've done that with like similar shades to create like a very like a rainy, drippy sort of grungy background. And then I've also done it in different colors, you know, like a rainbow of colors, etc. It's fun. It's fun. Highly recommend experimenting with just playing with colors and watercolor paper, backgrounds, etc. You can also tell, like I can tell by feeling these, like, you know, they look mostly dried, they're not. They feel cool to the touch. Like you can feel the dampness and you can, yeah, see? This is what I mean by, I gotta be careful with my heat tool here. See how the cardstock, like the watercolor paper is slightly bowed? Like it's still wet. Because it will completely flatten out when it's fully dry. And you want it to be dry to be able to cut it, use it on your card, what have you. I also need it to be dry before adding any splatter. Because if you add splatter, when it's still wet, the splatter is just going to start. Which is another effect you can do though. And I've shown that in videos as well, is while things are still wet, like adding splatter. And it will just create just texture, different things. I show that in the class. Oh, that's what I forgot to mention. It's linked below. I'm paying to run off to do something. He'll be back in a bit. But I have my class linked. I'm doing a class with Altenew that starts soon in like 3-ish weeks, something. Three pre-recorded lessons. Four pre-recorded lessons. Yeah. And then we're doing a live session at the end of August. But one of the pre-recorded lessons, I do a bunch of watercolor. And I do like a background and watercolor die cuts and stuff. It's fun. It's fun. So anyway, I'm doing a class. Who'da thunk? I'm like so professional now, y'all. AmyR, I did a whole spiel on the watercolor papers at the beginning of this live. So, since we are live, I want these to be dry, hence me using the heat tool. Sometimes, depending on what I'm working on, I'll just set my backgrounds aside because I'll work on die cutting, coloring other things, you know, whatever. But we're live, so I'm just going to speed it up with my heat tool. And so you can see it starting to get flatter. It's not as bowed as it was. The other thing that really, really helps, even on a hardboard, or even just, you know, you're trying to dry a background and you're holding it with your hand, is holding it up and not leaving it flat on your work surface. That allows the heat to pass through and will dry things faster and also helps prevent warping, as the tape does as well. Okay. These are mostly dry. The thing also to remember with speeding it up with a heat tool, you can see it's sort of here, is the heat is, you know, kind of melting, within reason, the adhesive on the tape. So I wouldn't use a heat tool on something like this. Again, if you were wanting to preserve your borders, and say I was doing this and there was other stuff I wanted to paint on top of it, but I want to preserve it, I wouldn't use my heat tool then, because the heat tool, it starts to like lift tape, and then you're going to lose that border. Because if I was to now start painting again, if I wanted to, all that watercolor would like seep under the tape, and then you're going to lose your crisp border. But again, for me, I don't worry about it because I'm cutting these down. I rarely do like it looks nice. It does, like, and when we peel away the tape, it's going to look fabulous. But I rarely try to preserve like a perfect border because I am too messy. I'm too messy, you know? But those that are able to do it, respect. Respect. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Watercolor paper I'm using right now is hot press. Everything is listed and linked in the description box below the video. Oh, I forgot to pin it. Sorry, you guys. I forgot to pin the supplies to the chat. I was sidetracked because I was dealing with a bunch of spammers right before we went live again. I had a bunch of, there we go, visual supply lists, pin to the chat. There we go. I had a bunch of spammers again. Love that. So I had to delete all their garbage that they had just filled the chat with absolute trash, and then blocking and banning and all the fun things. All the fun things. So anyway. Oh, hi. Oh, you're covered in... I'll see if I can... Come here. What are you doing? 1 second. You want to show everybody your dust bunnies? It's hilarious that I can... Here we go. No, just 1 second. Let's show everybody. Show everybody your filthy little self. Okay. For those that missed, this is Gigi. This is my grandbaby. And he's been... Dude, you're a mess. Come here. I know. I'm not going to keep you out of here. He loves being in here. You're a mess. You're covered. You're filthy. You're filthy. Okay, you can go explore. There you go. There you go. Go explore. Anyway. Told you so. He is covered in dust bunnies and having a grand old time. Let's go back to what we're doing. So, he is... he's having fun. Searching out the next hiding spot, and yeah, dust bunnies. Anywho, okay, so he's climbing all over everything. Okay, let's get back to what we're doing. Dude, don't even think about it. You cannot jump up there. No, not allowed. Not allowed. Anyway. Oh my goodness. He's looking for like another escape hatch so he can get into his favorite spot. You're gonna have to go around. Oh, he's gonna knock something over. Whatever. Anyway. Oh, he's gonna run away from you now?
He is covered in dust again.
Yep, I got to show him on camera. He had a face full of it. He was covered. He's trying to find a way to get back to his little hiding corner. He's funny.
On the couch or something.
Oh yeah, but he doesn't want that. He wants to be, you know, he wants to be contained on his own terms. So, mostly dry. I'm gonna give it a quick little blast. I want to make sure this is dry. Who needs a Swiffer when you have him? Oh, I know. It's every time he gets to come over, he's under all the furniture, and basically, yeah, with his long fur, he dusts under all our furniture for us. I consider it a win. So anyway, oh my goodness. And that's why my cats are not allowed in my craft room. Yeah, I don't mind him. I don't mind him being in here when I'm not, like when I'm in here. Like he's been in here the last like day or so with me, and that's fine. But when I go to leave at the end of the day, he has to come out. I won't leave him in here unsupervised. It's a fire hazard, let alone all the things. Like, couldn't do it. But while I'm in here, I don't mind it because he does. He just curls up under the furniture and wants to be left alone. Okay. Dry enough. I'm happy with this. Okay. So, and Q's a little void. Yeah, he kind of is. And yeah, he is the unpaid maid. Yes. Yes, he is. Okay. Splatter. I want, there it is, my white gouache, which this tube is almost done for. I have a backup. I have a brand new fresh tube around here somewhere. There it is. I keep it close by because it's only a matter of time. But this is how they come when they're new. Because there's white and black. I use both in a million videos. I've been using this stuff for years now. But a brand new tube of the gouache is enormous. Here's the little watercolor tubes I was using. This is the gouache. And when I ordered these, I've talked about this in previous lives and stuff, but when I ordered these, when Altenew first released these 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I forget. It's been years. But when Altenew came out with them, I was like, oh, cool. I want these. I want to compare them to other because I love splatter. And I just added them to cart and didn't really think anything of it. Like I wasn't paying attention. I was expecting them to show up either like this size or the other size that's very close. It's twice this, but is the 15 mil tube. That's also standard, especially for gouache. Most gouache comes in 15 mil tubes, so about twice as much as this. It's about that big. And that's what I was expecting. And then I got these and I was like, I even posted about it on my Instagram. The person would have to scroll down for years to find it. But I was like, what I thought I ordered versus what I got. And I was like, I'll never, like, this is multiple lifetimes. Almost used up. So, yeah. Got my backup. So I won't stress out that, I will not stress out that I'm going to run out. So we got our white gouache. I'm just going to put some onto my palette. And then, where's my other, this is the one I wanted to use. Yeah, I'm going to use one of the fine, this is a size 6 fine watercolor brush. And gouache is kind of like a cross between, like you have watercolor and acrylic paint. Gouache is kind of in the middle. It is, watercolor is mostly transparent. Depends on the brand. There's a lot of, we're not getting into all the like nitty gritty details. Acrylic paint is opaque and permanent. Watercolor can be reactivated with water. Acrylic paint, when it's dry, cannot. Gouache sits in the middle. It is mostly opaque, but it's water reactive. So it has some more interesting capabilities. I don't often like paint with gouache. I've done like 1 or 2 videos actually painting with it. I like to use it for splatter, you know, because, yeah. So I got some water, and because it's quite thick, especially once you get to the end of the tube and it's had a lot of air get in there, it, you know, gets thicker and thicker. But, I have both of those now. Oh, both gouache. Heck yeah. It's great stuff. And most average card makers, a tube of that stuff's probably going to last you the rest of your life and then some. I laughed so hard when Kathy Zielski ordered the black. And then she texted me and she's like, what? And like got it, like this enormous tube. And she was just like, I laughed because, you know, Kathy's much more restrained with her splatter. She's much more clean and simple card maker. And, you know, so I was like, she's going to be leaving that one to her kids, you know. We'll see how much of a dent she's able to make in that tube. But I was like, my black, which we'll use later, is like half used up. So, winning, I guess. I don't know. It's not a competition. But, you know. Anyway, let's get some water till I get it to a good splatterable consistency. Doop, 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 doop. I remember when you got them. Yeah, I was very shocked. And I genuinely thought when I got them that yeah, I was like, I will never use this up. Like, this is multiple lifetimes. Yeah. It's taken me a couple years to almost use up this tube of white. We've got, you know, probably a month or two left before I get to switch over to the new tube. There we go. I'm happy with that. Because, yeah, I got a few uses left. Maybe a month. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, I need to move this out of my way. Oh, I hope I don't knock that over. Okay. I want to put this in my splat box because I do make a mess. And this will just keep things a little more contained. This barely fits in here, but we'll make it work. I use all different kinds of brushes for splatter. I do love my fan brush. I use a lot. However, you can also use these brushes. Any of the round brushes that I showed from any of the sets will work. So again, this is the size 6 fine watercolor brush. For those tuning in, because I see your comments, like you guys are just tuning in, 40% off. I got exclusive code in the description box under the video. 40% off any of the 3 watercolor brush sets that are listed and the Petal Palette with my code today and tomorrow only. Okay, so splatter. If you just splatter with like this round brush, and I went, it'll work. You'll get splatter. The thing you need to remember though is depending on it kind of applies to any round brush like this. The longer the bristles, you'll notice it more, is when you're just tapping it, the bristles are going to go like this. So you'll get splatter, but the bristles are also going to go fing, and it's going to go everywhere. Everywhere. Not the end of the world, but I learned that lesson, over time. And I was like, well, I have splatter on my cameras, like it's everywhere. So to control it is like just an acrylic block. It can be anything really. And I put a bit on here like that. And then I'm going to drag and flick the brush off the edge of the acrylic block onto these backgrounds. So like that. And this gives you a little more control. It also is a little less messy. You can somewhat aim where you want it to go. This is something you kind of pick up more too as, you get more experienced with splatter. But really, you do. You start kind of figuring out what works. And if you're unsure, but you really want to do splatter, practice. Use scraps of paper and what have you, and just do things like this and play and see what works for you. Because different brushes will do different things, different products will do different things. It varies. And I jump around I use all different sorts of brushes, all different sorts of products, because it's fun. Everything works. It all works. I show all different sorts of things, not just because it's my job and I work with different brands, but also because, especially with splatter, I'll see something online and I'm like, add to cart. Does anyone need like 20 different types of products for splatter? No, but I don't care. No regrets. But yes, the Altenew gouache is definitely one of my favorites, but there's many. Okay, I'm gonna keep doing it. Doop 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 doop. Yep. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I just want a nice little splattery background. Yep. Okay. So, could glitter be added to the gouache for sparkle, or would it not splatter as well? No. Glitter would not. You do not want to add glitter to gouache, watercolors, any of that really, because there's nothing in them to bind the glitter. Glitter needs a strong, straight up glitter needs a strong adhesive to hold. So like if I had any glitter to this, even like super fine glitter, also gouache is opaque. So it's going to coat the glitter. So most of it you're not even going to see anyway, because it'll get coated by the gouache. 2, it might look a little bit shimmery glittery at first, but then when it's fully dry, that glitter is going to come off because there's nothing to bind it to the paper. Glitter needs a binder, specifically like glue. When it comes to like shimmery splatter, I've shown a ton of different products. I was going to use, Altenew has a really nice like metallic watercolor palette that I use a lot. I was going to use that today. It's sold out. They'll be restocking it, but that's a nice one for options. I'm not sure when they'll be able to restock it, but they will. So that one, the only powder product that I'm aware of, because there might be more, that has a shimmer and its own binder is Perfect Pearl powder from Ranger. Those powders, because I've used Perfect Pearl powder for splatter many, many times. Been using it for years. I'll keep using it. That one has a binder in it. So the minute you add water to it, it immediately binds and you can splatter with it. But actual glitter needs a binder. Okay, there we go. We've got our background for now. And even, yeah, mica, any of it, I would not add them. They're like, again, this gouache is opaque. You could add some, mica powder to it within reason. But again, the gouache is going to kind of coat all of that. You're not really going to see it. And gouache it does not have that binder in it, So yeah, I would just get products like meant for like Perfect Pearl powder or the metallic watercolors. There's also something like this, Altenew's iridescent. I don't have a link for this. I can add it. Altenew's iridescent shimmer spray. I use that. Is it just iridescent shimmery or shimmer? There we go. You can add that link in the chat. I put it at the end of the supply list. This one's pretty. And I use this in my class. But yeah, this, and I used it in a recent video too. You have to shake it up really well, but it does have like a very pretty iridescent. Oh, the poinsettia cards I did not too long ago, like at the beginning of this month. I used this iridescent shimmer spray. So you can splatter with this too. Shake it up, dip a brush in, splatter with it. This stuff's really pretty. I love it. It's beautiful. So those are some options. And then actual sparkles, like the sparkle spray that I used before. But I'm not going to clean this up because we're going to use a little bit of it later. Plus we're going to use black splatter on the finished cards. So I need to put this somewhere where I'm not going to knock it over. And then let's make sure this is dry before we remove the tape. It kind of is almost dry. It looks dry enough anyway. Yeah, looks dry enough. Okay, so when removing the tape, if you're using a different brand, because again, Altenew satin tape, low tack, I've never had a problem with this stuff. But if you're using a stickier tape and it's really fusing down, two things. You can heat it a little bit first. So, again, don't like blast your heat tool directly in one spot. But you can like warm it up with your heat tool and that will soften the adhesive. And then you can start peeling. The other thing to do, and again, this applies more to stickier tapes because this one, the satin tape comes off really nicely, is you pull the tape against itself. So you just like that, and that will help prevent tearing. And then the other thing you always need to remember is do not remove the tape unless you are 100% sure your backgrounds are dry. Because if they are wet at all and you have a stickier tape, the tape's going to be still like fused to the wet areas and it will just start to like shred the paper. And that's not fun. That's not fun. So heat it if you need to and then pull it off against itself. And if it's a stickier tape than this, test it. Like you've heated it, and then just do a little bit and see how it's coming off. Because again, if you're wanting to preserve, like I did manage to get some crisp lines here. Like, man. Oh, I had a little bit of a bleed, but these are getting cut down. I don't care. So, doop. And last but not least, pull out against itself. Like, ooh, I like such a crisp edge. Totally wasted because we're cutting these down. Anyway, so there's 2 backgrounds done with just 2 colors. That was just the ivory black and the phthalo blue. I am sweating, y'all. Sweating. Okay, so back to what we were doing. What were we doing? I don't remember. All right. I'm trimming these down to A2 sized because that's what I prefer. What I'm going to use for the actual finished cards, and this as well, you could totally do like 5x7 if you like making larger cards. I just rarely make larger than A2. It's just my personal preference. But the dies I'm going to use and all the things translate very nicely onto large cards. We'll get to it in a second. Let's just trim these down first. So I want these to be like full A2, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I'm going to do like, let's go about there. So there's my 5 1/2 line. Yeah. So just commit and then making sure that I'm going to have, yep, 4 1/4. So now we're at 5 1/2. That. And 4 1/4. So this is 1 background. Like so. And then we're going to do the same thing with this background. So we're going to take it. I kind of like this lighter area, so I'm going to preserve more of that as well. Like that. And then want to make sure, yep, got enough clearance. And we got that and that. Okay. There we go. So we got 2 backgrounds. And then for one of them, I'm using the, I love this set. This is the Forest Friends Silhouettes die set. This was part of Altenew's July release. I love me a good silhouette. I love it so much. I love it so much. The minute I saw this, I was just like, oh, there's so much you can do. So much you can do. So I've got this set. And I wondered, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I have this set and I die cut it from, I die cut it from some Crafty Necessities cardstock. Because again, I did prep, y'all. I did prep. Let me get all my pieces here. Because like I was saying earlier, I've been obsessed with the Tranquility quad of inks, and there is cardstock from Altenew. I don't know. I've just been obsessed with these like muted blues lately. I don't know why. They're beautiful. So I have Nimbus, Crafty Necessities cardstock, Cloudy Sky, Dark Night, just a really gorgeous like navy, and then I also have like Dark Chocolate, which is a super dark brown, and then Espresso, lighter brown. And I die cut all the pieces using the coordinating wafer dies, this fabulous Forest Friends. So I die cut the pieces from those cardstocks like so. Love them. They're so good. They're so good. They're so good. And then because I was feeling like extra bougie, I actually die cut everything twice and glued them together just to give them a little extra dimension. So, do I want on that one or do I want on that one? I think I like that. I'm going to use this one for this one. One thing at a time. Okay. So, this is what I mean by this set will translate really nicely onto larger cards, because this is A2 size, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. Just to give you an idea of like the size of these die cuts, you know, like so good, so good. So I want to put it like that probably, mostly kind of just following like the packaging because I love it. Because if we do it like that, because this will be the ground, and then we have our fabulous deer, and then we have the little baby, and then there's going to be like an owl sitting in there. It's so good. It's so good. I love this die set. I love this die set so much. So, we're going to glue it. Yes, we're going to glue things down, and then while the glue dries, we're going to work on the inside of this card. So, let's glue it. I'm going to glue it all just directly with liquid glue. Because then I can just put something heavy on top of this and let everything dry, because it's going to take a minute, because these are large die cut pieces. So I'm just going to get some glue on here like that. Don't know if I need all this, because we'll cut off whatever bits that are hanging off the edges. I'm going to lightly just dab glue onto these really delicate little bits here. Boop, 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 boop. Like that. Yep. Yep. We're good. We're good. Everything's good. Okay. And then we'll just like that. Okay. And then we can adhere this to the background like, ooh, I want a little bit of glue right there. Yeah, that guy. There we go. Don't need that much. That was a little heavy-handed. What else is new? Okay. There we go. And then we commit. Then we commit. And then I'm just going to use and let that sit for a minute before we add the next bits, because let's just let that sit. Because then the other thing I did, where'd I put it? I also pulled out, this is also from the July release, the Jack Pine tree die set, because it's so good. I love these dies, man. Like this one, beautiful, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, no notes, trees, greenery, I love it. Some of my favorites. So this guy, I also die cut from the same colors. I used the Dark Night, the Nimbus, and the Cloudy Sky. And then the trunk I die cut from the Dark Chocolate. And then these ones. Is Kathy here? Oh, hello, Kathy. How are you? I am sweating. I'm sweating. Hello, Christopher. Back to what I'm doing. I'm getting distracted. This set has the keyhole layering system to line everything up. So there's a literal like keyhole shape. And then in the dies themselves, like one, it's got like, that's the keyhole right there. And depending on the set, they have different shapes. And then with the dies themselves on the cardstock, which just is hard to show on camera, there's a lot of times there are numbers also. So there's the keyhole and then the number. So there's number 1, 2, 3, etc. You know, to make things super, super easy to line up. Oh, I wish you could. Kathy, you're going to have to rewind my live. You can see my grand kitty, because I have one too now. His name is Gigi, and he's crawling around here somewhere. We can keep hearing his bell, but he's covered in dust.
Under the couch.
Is he under the couch? Oh, that's hilarious. He's under the furniture beside me. So, yeah, he doesn't like being shown on camera. I can't blame him. Anyway, let's adhere. So, we have layer 1. Bigged it. And then this is layer 2. Like so. And as this comes together, it's going to be so amazing. So amazing. I love it. I love it so much. Okay. So with this one, I'm just going to like kind of slap a bit of glue on here and there. We don't need much. Because again, cardstock is pretty lightweight. We also don't need glue oozing out everywhere. This'll work though. There we go. So we've got a bit of glue, and then you just line up the keyholes, which, there we go. There we go. So you line up the keyholes like so. I managed to get glue everywhere. Not the end of the world. Just wipe it off. You just wipe it off, it's fine. And then we can go like that. So 2 layers together like that. And then layer 3, and it, there you go. Yeah, see? Focus camera. Focus. There you go. See? 3. Sometimes depending on the die set, sometimes it'll be numbers, and other times if the space is too small, it'll just be little dots. It'll be like 2 dots, 3 dots, like that sort of thing, almost like Braille, which is kind of cool. So plus the layering guide, it makes sense. I have a little, we call it the fainting couch in here. It's back against my little Calyx units, and all it serves the purpose for here in the garage is for stuff to pile up on it. My original plan was to, like, because I've got my books in here and all the things. I don't know what possessed me. I was all like, oh, this is going to be like my space where I can like hang out and everything else. Yeah, no, I work in here. That's it. 24/7 basically. And I don't like hanging out in here when I'm not working because bugs. Gross. So, yeah. Although sometimes, like the unpaid intern, he'll hang out on the couch when I'm working, especially later in the evenings. So really, it's for him. He may be unpaid, but I provide furniture and snacks. Sometimes. All the time, sir. Now we line up layer 3. And it all just starts coming together. But also with a set like this, I genuinely don't think it doesn't need to be perfect. You know, like everything just kind of lines up, obviously, because that's how it was designed and intended. But this is another one of those types of sets where I genuinely, honestly don't think it matters. Like, it does not need to line up perfectly because it's going to look nice no matter what. There we go. Okay. So, doop, doop, doop. Yeah, Kathy, like, stalks me. She's so obsessed with me. She's even building a garage. Like, she's trying to be me. Love you, Kathy. Although if you do decide to, like, move into your garage as well and start working out of there, like, I don't know. It's, like, totally twinsies. Okay. Now, layer 4. So he will go on top. And then, Kathy's basting brush idea would help glue this in. Yes. Actually, that totally would. It totally would. You could totally do that. It would be a little less, sort of mucky in theory, but I also don't have, like, problems doing this. And I still, of course, still manage to, like, get glue where it doesn't belong. But, yes. Kathy's basting brush idea for these more, like, delicate die cuts, that method totally works for those that aren't sure what I'm talking about. She's shown it on her lives, and I think she did a dedicated video, didn't you, Kathy? Cutting down a basting brush, and then you, like, pour out some glue and you tap it in there, and then you tap it on her die cuts. I still haven't tried that. I probably should. It'd probably be faster than this, but it works. Okay. There we go. And then this layer goes right here. You line up the little keyhole. But again, it kind of makes sense, you know, because the edges all line up, etc., etc. So the pieces individually look a little like, oh, you know, but as you layer it, it's like, oh, this makes sense, you know? Yes, yes, Kathy got the basting brush idea from NB Cards. Yes. It's a cool trick. I think I'm too chaotic for it. I'm just like, I'm just gonna use the glue and, you know. Anyway. Okay. So there's our tree for, you know, it's not fully complete yet. It's almost complete. So we've got these pieces. For the final layer, you can do what you want. Because the final layer it's this wafer die. And it looks really weird. It's the finishing little bits that will cover like the keyhole. So you can do whatever you want depending on what you're making. So with like, if you're doing all greens, the final layer could be the lightest shade of green, you know? Or, because again, trees, you could like some of the color ideas, you could do so many things. Like blues, I'm doing blues. So I could have done like just the lightest shade of blue. That would have looked fabulous. But instead, I pulled out. I love this stuff so much. I pulled out Moonstone glitter cardstock because it's so good. It's so good. So yeah, Moonstone glitter cardstock. It's beautiful. I love it. I hoard every little piece of it. Always, always. So I die cut the top layer from the Moonstone glitter cardstock because it is very, very beautiful. And it's 3 pieces, right? It's 3 pieces because I have like a bunch of extra die cuts. So this one goes like this. So this is the only piece that doesn't have like a keyhole, but yet again, it makes sense. Plus, when you look at the guide where the pieces go, it's like, oh, okay. So we're going to glue. And the thing with glitter cardstock, this stuff does die cut, obviously, amazingly. When you die cut really delicate little bits using glitter cardstock, it can tear apart at some of the most fine, like the most delicate spots. However, because I'm noticing mine is just about to tear apart. But I've shown it in other videos, is because also I'm heavy-handed and I have managed to like tear apart, you know, because I'm rough housing and it rips. With glitter cardstock, you can like butt the pieces back up together and you can't see it because the glitter just obscures it. So this one is just about to tear apart, but he's going to survive. He's fine. He's fine. So he goes right there. And no one will be the wiser that I nearly tore it apart. Except for you guys that are watching. But, yeah. So we got that layer. Doop. And then, this piece goes right along here. You know, and like all the little budding bits, like they just match up, so it just makes sense. So we're gonna doop, add in this piece. Just little dabs of glue, you don't need much. And then Amy, do you have any influence to convince Kathy to design censored swear word stamps and dies? She's done some, and I've done videos using them. That's actually one of the first sets that Kathy designed for Simon Says Stamp. Before I even knew who Kathy really was, I remember it was, a set with some swear words in it, and I was like, add to cart. I was so excited. And then there have been several since. And I've used them. I get a kick out of it. I did a belated birthday card. You guys would have to search for it on my channel, but I did a belated birthday card a couple years ago with one of her dies that says, oh shit. but it's a little bit, it's got the hashtag instead. And I had like an ice cream cone die cut, like flipped over and melted, and I made it into a bladed birthday card. Love it. I love it so much. So yeah, they exist. They exist. And hopefully we'll get more. I like the snarky sentiments. I like, sometimes you just need the right kind of F words. As Kathy was going on in her live, some of the things when she had a little bit of a fall, that she is okay, thankfully. But, I was being an absolute menace in her chat because she was like, she said some F words. So then I'm posting the chat. I was like, fridge, friendship, forest. Because those are the F words you say when you hurt yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's get this last one adhered into place. This guy goes like this right there. And then this covers up that keyhole. So then we are good to go. Oh, look at this beautiful tree. I love it so much. I love it so much. One lady read Kathy the Riot Act called your classes. Oh, that doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me at all. It's not for everyone. I get it. But, sometimes the colorful language just is necessary. It's necessary. And I sprinkle the F word around like confetti on my just day-to-day. But, okay, there's my tree. Look at this. Look at it. Look how beautiful that is. And it's hard to show, like, really show how pretty the glitter, like that Moonstone glitter cardstock. So good. So good. And this is another, like, just changing the colors. You do greens, all different shades of greens. You can do reds, like these, like so good. So good. I love stuff like this. And I normally I would never even think to do blues. That's just not where my brain goes. I was going to die cut these from greens because I was like, ooh, a green with the, the snow. And it was actually the packaging. It was this one that I was like, I really like. And these were with inks, with Altenew's Frosted Sea Glass, Coastal Haze, Misty Harbor, because they include like ink and cardstock suggestions with everything. And I was like, I really like that, So then I was like, I already had all the cardstock out for these die cuts. So there we go. There's our tree. I love him so much. Fanny pack. Yeah, there we go. There's another good F word. Fanny pack. Okay. So, oh my goodness. Okay. What was I doing? I don't remember. This is going here. Do I kind of do. Do we want to add the silhouette to the background of this one too? That could be kind of nice. That could be kind of nice. I've like glued my cardstock to my work surface. Where did that silhouette die go? I have it here somewhere. There we go. Let's do a background. Do we want to do? I think I want to do it darker than this. We could do, ooh, yeah. If we did that one. Yeah. Would that look? Yeah, okay. Let's do that. Oh, I'm sweating. It's hot in here. Are you dying? I'm dying. I'm dying. It is really hot in here, you guys. Oops. I'm like losing things. Okay. Let's die cut this from, and we only need one layer for this one. This is Nimbus. Yeah, this is Nimbus cardstock. Beautiful, beautiful cardstock. So we will die cut him from the Nimbus cardstock. Boop. And then that can be our, just adds to the background. So let's get that. Let's just use my big monster plates because I have them sitting beside me. I will I plan to also, because not only does Kathy stalk me, I stalk her as well. It's a mutual stalking relationship. I do plan on having a die cut cam. I'm pretty sure I have the same camera as Kathy that she uses for her die cut cam. Because again, I stalk her. I just have nowhere to connect said camera. So, you know, eventually I will have fully, like, you know, fully copied her. Okay, so that one goes with there. This is going to go with this guy. Move that out of the way. Don't want to lose these guys. Here's this piece. And then, doop, doop, doop. Wiggle that out of there. Love it. Love it so much. Okay. So we've got our beautiful piece. So this will go on our background as well. Just to, oh, yes. Yep. Or do I want him over here too? We'll see. We'll see. Let's glue this guy down. And since I'm making 2 cards in today's live, there will be 2 winners of said cards that the unpaid intern will pick winners before the live is over. And the link to like put in your name and address is in the description box below the video. And it's just a Google form. It's the easiest way for us to be able to do this kind of stuff. And as always, disclaimer, no one sees, like, I don't keep anyone's like info. I just, you know, get the address onto the envelope before I ship it out, and then everything gets deleted. I don't share people's personal info, anything like that. And I don't want people, because I also don't want people putting their personal info in like comments, chat, etc. So, yeah. That's how we do it. Okay. So let's adhere. How do I want to get him centered the way I want him? Like this. There we go. And then commit. And then, my mild swear word was damn until my 2-year-old started using it. Yeah, my 2-year-old many, many years ago, I was telling some of my younger kids that story. My oldest, when they were 2, their first swear word was the F word. Not surprising at all. And when they did that, it was hilarious, honestly, because they actually used it in perfect context. But they were 2. And I tried really hard not to show a reaction. Because while I swear like a trooper, I do. And my kids hear it all the time. But they know that they are not, it's not appropriate. And then once they become adults, all bets are off. And at least one of my adult kids swears as much, if not more than I do. But, you know, it's what it is. But yeah. Okay. So, that's adhered. This one can now go under a couple blocks to just set up. This guy, now that it's dry, we can trim off. You can trim, or it's mostly dry. I got like glue everywhere. How did you get them to stop? They know when they're tiny, especially like when my kids were like toddlers, it would be more just like they would repeat what they would hear. So just biggest one, no reaction. And at the time when my oldest said that, like, yeah, they were like 2 to 3, like they were little, but they'd run like a little electric car, like into a chair leg. And they were like, oh, and said the F word. And it took everything in my power to keep like a straight face, act like nothing. There was other family members present at the time that were incredibly upset over it. And I'm like, they don't understand what, they're still young. Like they don't fully understand what they're saying. And yeah, I just never reacted. And I'm sure at other times, some of my kids, again, when they were like little, would let a little bad word slip sort of thing, and just no reaction. I refused. Oh, with the youngest, remember that time? When I was laying down the law with the kids at bedtime, this was many years ago. And same thing, my youngest at the time was he was like 4 or 5, roughly. And I was like, what did I just say? Because I was talking like, get your butts in bed, you know, whatever. And I forget what phrase I had used, but he parroted it back to me. And it was just like, you know, it was something along the lines of like, if we got out of bed again for 1 fucking second, something like that. And I just, again, I had to keep my face straight, leave the room, like go to the other side of the house and just like shriek with laughter because this little tiny person just word for word, you know, and I was like, but again, they don't see the reaction, so then they're not going to keep pushing it because as soon as you tell them like, don't say that, it's bad, they're going to chirp that out constantly. Anyway, don't follow me for parenting advice, y'all. I'm just a mess. And anyway, I'm sweating and I need to copycat these little and like put my hair up in a clip or something. Do I even have an elastic? Oh, I've got an elastic in here. There we go. See, I'm sweating. Usually I'm not, it's not so bad, but it is warm in here. Okay, let's just do this so that I'm not getting so annoyed with my hair. I need a haircut. It's been literally years. This works. Yeah, this works. Whatever. Okay, we're good. Let's get her. So, anyway, they are sponges. Yeah, kids will, yeah. And the biggest one, of course, is attention and reactions. So, it's very hard sometimes to keep a straight face and not react to certain things or, you know. And 99% of the time, it's unintentional. Like, our kids have said things that they didn't understand what it meant or, you know, that just, and he and I will just make eye contact and we have an unspoken agreement that we will laugh about it later on our own, you know, and then it's like, or we'll be texting each other. It's just like, OMG, you know, but anyway, the joys. Okay, let's start gluing all our bits onto the card front. I love these die sets so much. They're so beautiful. They're so beautiful. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Yep. So then this guy, we're going to stick him like that. There we go. And then adhere. Scrape away the extra glue because, as always, I make a mess. And then, the best way to deal with, I've heard, is tell them that they're adult words on their right. Exactly. And that's what I do, basically. It's like, yeah. They're adult words. And then I also explain to my kids that when they're like, you know, age-appropriate discussions and understanding of things. But because like when they started getting older is when the pushback, because it's like, well, you say it, you know. And it's like, yeah, but I'm an adult. And then I do also explain to my kids that a lot of people look down on that sort of language. That I deal with a lot of judgment from people and it just is what it is. But, you know, yeah. So, the joys. It's just like everything that I say on here too. Do as I say, not as I do. Like, yeah. Okay. We're going to keep like jumping back and forth between both of these card fronts because I'll just keep, actually I'll use my magnets for these smaller, magnets. There we go. Okay. There we go. Hasn't been shown that people who curse are more intelligent and creative. Technically, yeah. There have been like studies done. My biggest one is the studies that have been done on how swearing, there have been scientific studies that prove that swearing lessens your perception of pain. And that one, anecdotal, and I've talked about this in other live streams. I've proven that one because I used to own a salon. I'm a certified, like an esthetician. I used to own a salon. I used to do hair removal. And I did it all. And I proved that one. I had quite a few clients that came to me for hair removal. And, you know, we'd be doing Brazilians. And it hurts. And I had a few clients that you know, they're just like, oh, it hurts. And I had one in particular that they were someone who they just didn't swear. They just didn't. But when I would do hair removal, they had like a trucker mouth. What the things they said, it was hilarious. Hilarious. And it helped. Like they felt so bad. And then they felt bad afterwards and they would always apologize to me. And I was like, dude, I was so entertained by it all because I was just like, look at you. Like they were always very prim and proper, but swearing. Anyway, this tree. Yes. A2 size panel, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So this one isn't enormous. It's a good size. And again, this is the jack pine tree. So it will definitely work on like larger cards, but it's not so big that it will overtake an A2. So you could have multiples of these, but it can also work. And there's other ones that Altenew has. If you check the, I have a link to the July release in my supplies. They have a bundle showing other similar sets, like tree sets, because they're so good. They're so good. Okay. So we've got that. And then we have this. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Where did I put it? I had it here. Oh, he's hiding. I took the little owl from the Forest Friends silhouettes. I have him for this card as well, but I did him with the Nimbus card or the Dark Knight cardstock. But then for this one, I die cut him from black because I was thinking we could just, you know, kind of tuck him in there. He won't be very obvious amongst all of this, but I just thought, you know, he's kind of almost like just a little hidden surprise. I just thought it would be cute. So I die cut him from the jet black cardstock. And let's, do I want him there or do I want him there? I want him on this side. Not that it really matters, but that's what we're going to do. Okay. So, yeah, I swear. It's not even that I like to swear. I do. I just swear. It just is. I try not to do it on like my live streams. Although again, live streams, chaos, y'all. And sometimes words just need to be said. But in all my pre-recorded videos, I do not swear in those. Multiple reasons. Biggest one being because advertiser friendly. There's a lot of kind of ridiculous rules with YouTube and language. And so that is part of it. And yeah, generally for the most part with most card making, I just don't need to. But sometimes, like, you know, when you cut yourself or you burn yourself or, you know, I'm clumsy incarnate, sometimes you need to let those F words out. And like Kathy said, like fanny pack, friendship, forest. So yeah. But those I edit out of my pre-recorded videos because, you know, just is what it is. Just is what it is. Okay. So we got that. I'm going to transfer, don't want to lose my little owl, my magnet over to here. Yep. And then we've got this. And then, yes, fudge. That's another good one. So yeah, we got our little foliage. That's actually one of my favorite, like, I love foliage and greenery. So we got him. He's going to go there. Yeah, let's get him in place. There we go. Yep. So we're going to tuck this one right there. Like that. Lovely. And then and then this guy. And a reminder, I mentioned this earlier, but I've been all over the place with this live, which again, no one should be surprised. Again, if you're new here, welcome to the chaos. I do not appeal to everybody. My personality is not for everyone. But I mentioned earlier that all these die cuts are actually 2 layers because I did prep work. I don't often do that. Most of the time I just don't feel the need, but because these are basically sort of the focus of this card, I decided to do the 2 layers just to give a little bit of dimension, because die cuts like this, I am not going to cut foam tape. Ain't no way. I don't have the patience for that. No, I'm not doing it. So just by layering, even just 2 layers, it gives a little bit of dimension. You know, it just gives it that extra something. So again, just going to keep kind of bouncing back and forth between these, letting things dry. So we got this guy. I've got this bit that's hanging off. I'm going to use my big scissors to cut because that's like 4 layers of cardstock there. There we go. There we go. So we got that. And then, yeah, we can like... Oh, yeah, he could tuck in right there. Yeah, if we tuck him in right there. He's not, especially on camera, but in real life you can see him a little better. But yeah, we'll tuck the little owl in right there. And then, I was so tired I fell asleep during a Brazilian. That's hilarious. I had a few clients that it just didn't faze them, like at all. That would just about nap with stuff like that. And I got a kick out of those ones too. But yeah. There we go. We'll just hide that little owl right in there. Love it. Okay. So, this guy is technically done. This guy, we just need to adhere to little baby. Look at him being all cute. Love it. So then, we're gonna adhere those. Boop, boop, boop. Glue on there. Don't really need that much. And then doop, doop. There we go. So got that. And then we'll just stick him like that. There you go. So while that's drying, what I want to do is this. So I've got my card bases. Again, A2 note cards, so 4 1/4, 5 1/2 inches. And, you know, this is going to go on here. It's going to cover up. Yep, so we're good. So what I did is, where did I put it? Okay, I did prep work, y'all. It's here somewhere. Where? Oh, there they are. Okay, so I need to grab a couple things here. Let's get... Okay, I need a grip mat. I need a grip mat. I need a bigger boat. Okay. I need a grip mat. I need a bigger boat. We're still waiting for, you know, the craft sugar daddy to show up that will fund my lifestyle in exchange for my winning personality and a handmade card. Okay. So, I have my card bases. A2 cards like this. Then what I did is I took the large silhouette die from the Forest Friends silhouette set, and I die cut masking paper with it. And so this was masking paper, I die cut it. So I'm left with this. This piece, like the die cut itself, I'm just going to save with the packaging because I might use it on a future project. So I'm not going to waste it. It's good to go. I wanted the negative, like this piece. And again, it's masking paper. So I can peel the backing off of this. Get out of there. And masking paper has a very low tack to it. This particular one is not like Altenew's masking paper, but I have a link to Altenew's masking paper. I need to get some. And I'm going to take it And I'm going to adhere it to the inside of my card like this. And then I can press this down like that. Like that. And then especially in like these really delicate areas, making sure that this is pressed down like this. So then, doop, 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 doop. Okay, and I did it a second time for the second card because, you know, it just made sense. So same thing, we're gonna peel off the backing. And something like this specifically, I consider this technically one use within reason. Because of the like delicate areas, I'm not going to bother trying to like preserve it. You could within reason. The thing to remember though with like masking paper is it can only handle so much because we're going to ink. It can only handle so much before it gets saturated and it'll start seeping through. But you can a lot of times get several uses out of masking paper. It variables. It just depends. So we're going to do the same thing. And it doesn't need to be perfect because this is the inside. The insides don't need to be perfect. But this is going to create the silhouette outline that I want. And then I can just press it down. And then just making sure these, specifically these really delicate little spots, these little pokey bits, get them pressed down like that. And then I can now ink blend and I have a mask, like a stencil. So, I can use the same colors of ink as the cardstock I was using. Which is the, like I was saying at the beginning, the Tranquility quad that I've been obsessed with these colors because they're beautiful. So Misty Morning, Cloudy Sky, Nimbus, and Dark Night. Obsessed. Just is what it is. So we're going to use that. And then I need my blending brushes, which I'm using the small blending brushes because this will make it quick. Okay. So, what's, okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to start with the lightest shade. So the Misty Morning. And get you down there. Everything's in place. We are good. Yep. So then I am Gesundheit.
Yeah.
So. Oh, and I also wanted to grab, because knowing me, I'm going to get this past the edges, because that's just a given. So I just like using the alignment guides that are meant for the stamp wheel. I use these as also as masks. So I can just stick that down. There we go. There we go. So we're going to blend this onto the inside of the card. And this could be a card front. A lot of times, some of the things I do on the insides of my cards work perfectly as a card front. I kind of joke about how I don't do a lot of clean and simple because that's just not my style. I'm more everything but the kitchen sink. But quite often the way I do the insides of my cards is like a clean and simple card. So in a sense I do clean and simple, just backwards, you know. So anyway, I'm going to blend this on here like this. Like this. And this is another way to get more uses out of your dies, because quite a few dies can work as a like as a mask, you know, or a stencil. And ones like this the Forest Friend silhouette is perfect for this sort of a thing. And that's why I love this die set, because all the possibilities. Okay, so we've got that. And then we're just going to do the exact same thing. There we go. And then blend that down on the inside of this one. Does the stamp wheel offer more stamping area than the Misty? Yes. I forget what the measurements are. The Stampwheel 2.0 definitely does. It's got a larger surface area. And the Stampwheel 2.0, and I've shown that in videos, because when you remove the one side of it, I did a video, when was that, like 3 months ago? Something, with Altenew's anniversary set, the great big huge Sakura bloom set that's like 8 at 8, it's a monster size stamp set. I stamped that onto an 8.5 by 11 piece paper using the Stampwheel 2.0, and I showed that in that video. Yeah. Okay. So this was the lightest shade. And we could leave it like this. This is soft and pretty. And when I remove the actual like masking paper, it'll look amazing. But I do want just a bit more because I can't help myself. So let's keep adding that. There we go. Maybe a bit more. I need to like literally re-ink these ink pads. I've been using them so much because I've been obsessed. And I can tell. I was like, ooh, this ink pad's starting to go a little dry because I've used it so much. Love it. It's beautiful. Okay. So that was Misty Morning. And then we'll do some Cloudy Sky. So the next shade. And this we're going to blend up more from like the bottom, because while I'm going a little extra on the insides, I usually don't put quite a whole lot of effort on the insides of my cards. I don't want this to be super dark because my whole plan with this was just to bring that silhouette onto the inside of my card, because I originally thought about just die cutting it and gluing it on the inside of my card, but I was like, no, that was going to annoy me when it comes time to write like on the different layers. Again, do I add die cuts the inside of my cards? Yes. I just didn't want to do that. So then I was like, oh, I'll just make a stencil, like create a mask and ink blend it. And like I said, this will work very nicely on a card front too. There we go. So kind of, I'll bring it up a little bit further. Why not? Why not? There we go. So we got that. Because then also by using the inks, it ties it in with all the die cutting I did on the front. So it's going to make everything matchy-matchy. Here we go. I have the 12 by 12 Misty. I haven't touched that thing in years. So yeah. Because now when I need a larger surface area, I just grab my stamp wheel. And yeah. Okay. Yep. Don't overthink it, Amy. We're good. We're good. Okay. Let's add a little, the darker colors just because we can. Just because we can. There we go. And then we've got Nimbus. So we will throw that again along the bottom. Like that. Oh, it's gonna get noisy, babe.
Is that? Why?
Kids. Jay just got home.
Who? Oh, Joe. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Should be fine. I thought if the other was with her, then it would have gotten noisy. Anyway, okay. So we're adding the Nimbus like that. Yes. Yep. And because again, I can't help myself, you know, we'll add a bit of Dark Night. Also because it's a beautiful color. Like, it's a beautiful color and you can't go wrong. So this one I'm keeping very much to like the bottom of this because it is a very deep, beautiful navy shade. And then whatever's sort of left on my brush, I can kind of like, woo, like that. There we go. Doot, doot, doot. And then once we get, there we go. We're good. We are good. This is good. Okay. So the best part is, of course, the reveal. Let me stack up my colors in the order they're supposed to go in because, again, I've got issues. Let's move that out of the way. Let's move this out of the way. Whew. Okay. Let's take a stencil guide and get that out of the way so I don't lose him. I got ink all over me. Let's get these guys off the grip mat. Like that. And regardless whether you're using like a grip mat like this or like a sticky mat, there's a ton of options. If you're working on more delicate cardstock, or it's just because sometimes the cardstock really wants to fuse, same theory is you can take the mat, doesn't matter what brand, type, whatever, and remove the mat from the cardstock, like bend it away from the cardstock instead of trying to peel your cardstock off, because especially if you're working on thinner cardstock, because you don't want it to tear. This I'm not concerned with, but I just you can bend the mat away and then it's good. So now for the moment of truth, let's remove my masks. So good. So good. Gotta love when these random ideas in my head come to fruition. It's like magic and I love it. Oh yeah. That is satisfying. Look at it.
Yeah.
I did that.
You did.
And no residue. Nothing. Again, this wasn't the Altenew masking, but Altenew masking paper I know works the exact same, like no residue. The one thing I wouldn't do though is say you did this, like you've stuck masking paper to your project. I wouldn't leave it sitting for, I don't know, weeks on end or something. Overnight, it should be fine. Probably even for days. I wouldn't leave it forever, and because you never know, but in theory it should remove, but yeah. And ones like this that are very delicate, the chances of being able to reuse it are slim because it, as you saw, it like curls up. Oof. Well, I already tore it, but it curls up on itself because it's thin. So that's why I did two separate ones. It's easier this way. So isn't that fun? Love it so much. And then, okay. So we've got that. Actually, I'm going to add a sentiment to the inside, but we're just going to get the card fronts glued on first. But yeah. And like that. I don't use blue very often, and yet I have been obsessed. This combo of cardstock and inks has had me in choco. There's a Tranquility. I linked to the like ink combo, and then the cardstocks I use the same colors. So good. There's something about these muted blues that I just have been ridiculously obsessed with the last like couple months. It's kind of nuts. Okay, so we has our card fronts, and we just need to glue these to the card base, and then we're gonna probably add a little bit more splatter, because Amy is a little bit unhinged. Like like I always say, do you have to add, you know, do you have to add splatter? Do you have to love it? No. You know, it's not for everyone. And if you don't like it, don't do it. I love it. That's why I do it. Why it's become such a divisive thing and why people feel the need to leave comments going, you know, I liked it until you added splatter. It's like totally unnecessary, you know? If that's how you feel, cool. You just didn't need to leave that in the comment. Anyway, okay. So there's making sure everything's lined up. It is. We'll let that glue set up. And then let that dial away. Get that guy right there. And we'll do the same thing with this one.
I love the background of these ones. It's so good.
I had fun making these backgrounds. 2 colors, you know? Just, again, I've been very much in a blue mood, but y'all, seriously, like, you could die cut this in black, and like the colors you could do for backgrounds.
All that's missing is a cozy little cabin.
I know, right? And I actually could do that. Altenew has a set. They have a set of little like houses, little ones.
Yeah.
So I could. I need more hours in the day, y'all. Because yes, could add a cozy little cabin and our happy little trees. It would be so good. It would be so good. Okay, that one was also adhered. So those are adhered. I want to add splatter. Of course I want to add splatter. Of course I do. We want to add more splatter. That's what we do around here. Okay. In fact, what did I do with that? Let's add some shimmery splatter and some block splatter. Because I can do what I want. What am I doing? Splat box. That's what I'm doing. I'm a professional, y'all. Okay. Okay. Doop. Just make sure that that is... Yep. Yep. Okay. Where did my brain go? Oh, I know. It's... People got it. You got to trust the process. Most of the time I know what I'm doing. Not always. Not always. Sometimes it's just dumb luck that I end up, I don't know, accomplishing anything. So, let's use some of this. What did I do with my Petal Palette? There it is. We'll add... Yeah. Yeah, and then we'll add some black splatter. Oh, and before we forget, speaking of splatter and all of the chaos, there we go. You know? Okay. So, for the iridescent shimmer spray, you want to make sure it is well shaken up because all that beautiful shimmery goodness settles to the bottom. And you want it to be fully dispersed before you do anything with it. And if you look up my poinsettia video, you can post it in the chat. It'll be in this month, and you won't miss it. Scroll down. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, right there. Nope, nope, right beside it with the red background. That one. I used this in that video, as well as the antique gold. And I used it Gesundheit again.
Yeah.
You're losing brain cells. I used it in that video, if you haven't seen it, and that was using the poinsettia embossing folder and die set from the July release, and I made like a stack of cards with it because it's beautiful. Okay, so that's mixed up. So what we want to do with this guy is we can just take like the same fine watercolor. Those that are just tuning in, I got a discount. Info is in the description box below. I talked about it at the beginning of the live, but yeah, you can get a good deal, and the Petal Palette. Altenew watercolor brushes and the Petal Palette, you can get 40% off with my code only today and tomorrow. So, let's move that for a moment. Ooh, it is reflecting onto my camera. That's annoying. Let's do it like this. So, with something like this, again, make sure you're shaking up really well. I take the nozzle off, and now we be careful so that Amy does not knock this over and spill it. And we can do it in like multiple ways, but I'm just going to do the same as what I was doing before. with the acrylic block, and then just, we're going to splatter it like this. And it's going to be subtle, but that's kind of what I want anyway. I don't want like super heavy splatter with this. And I'll use my flashlight at the end to try and show it. Because yeah, this is just subtle. There we go. So this will just give it a little extra something something. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. Whoop, and I got a big splotch of it. Oh well. Happens. I can soak up some of it. I don't want quite that much. So I just like get my brush dry and then it can soak that up. There we go. I don't mind the splotch. That can be like the moon. Whatevs. Okay. I'm happy with that. It's got a little bit of shimmery splatter. And then I'm gonna wipe off my mess. Will your magnets work on your large solid blocks? Hold your cardstock down as the glue dries. Honestly, not really. Like the weight of them would. Like I've never really bothered doing that, but like it's not gonna magnet. You know, there's too much space between the magnet and the because like my glass board mat, like the metal is under the mat, so there's not enough like for the magnet to do its thing. But you could still stick like magnets on top just for that extra weight. But honestly, when I want like, I have a bunch of magnets under my desk here, so a lot of times off camera I'll have like carefully, because again, you don't want them, because I've pinched myself with these. It's not pretty. But yeah, the blocks are too thick for the magnets to like do anything, but they do add a little extra weight. So anyway, okay. So I got that little bit. I'm going to add a little bit more of the white just because it's here. And again, my lights want to like reflect off that. I can reactivate this. It's like mostly dried. I don't save my gouache. I've talked about this. You can in theory. However, like, you know, I had done that splatter earlier in this live. Now it's dry, I'm reactivating it. I'm fine with it for this one, but then I'm cleaning this up, because if you save your gouache, every time you go to reactivate it, you're adding more and more water. You're thinning it out more and more, so it's becoming more and more transparent. And depending on the type of surface you're working on, like this Petal Palette is fine because it is like ceramic porcelain type thing. But my plastic palettes that I use quite often with my gouache, because it's plastic, when the gouache, like my mixture dries, it starts being repelled by the plastic and it starts flaking up, and then you got a mess. So I clean it up when I'm done. The only reason I left this was because we're live and I can just reactivate it and we're good. But yeah, I don't bother saving it. And I say that spiel because I've had people like jump down my throat in comment sections like about the waste. And I'm like, it looks like a lot sometimes, but it's actually not. Like, I conserve as much as I can. I save all my bits of cardstock, you know, I reuse things, but losing my mind over a little bit of ink or a little bit of gouache or a little bit of watercolor, nope, not worth it. Not worth it. Okay, we're going to add a little bit more of the white splatter using this brush. There we go. Just giving these a good old snowy scene. Because, again, that's what I was in the mood for. Oh, yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah. Love it so much. It's gonna last a little bit. Here we go. Whoop, whoop. Okay. Oh, yeah. You guys know, with me and Splatter, go big or go home. Can Amy ever do a demure amount of splatter? Not really. I got issues. Okay. So we got all that. Got our beautiful little snowy scenes. I'm still going to add some black splatter because I like to do that. So we're going to rotate. Where'd the block go? There it is. And then spare the rod, use all the gouache. Yes, that is what they've always said. Use it all. The black I am more conservative with, depending on what I'm doing. Sometimes black splatter just everywhere. Woo! But for something like this, I want just a little bit. I like it. So, and the thing to remember with the black gouache, and this applies to most black splatter products, but like, this is carbon black pigment. This stuff will stain. He will not stain. The Petal Palette does not stain. If you just wipe it off, it looks like it stains, but it comes off. This Petal Palette is nice. It's nice. It's a lot more bougie than my cheapo plastic palettes. Where's my... Let me wipe off this little acrylic block. And then... I get the waste comments, but now concerned about how much can be saved or what to do with saved bits. Sometimes, exactly. Like sometimes it becomes too much of a like obsession of like conserving every little thing. Time and place. The things I do conserve and like use and I've taught is like my cardstock. I keep every little scrap because I use it. I always reach for scraps before I use like full sheets, especially of the good stuff like that like my glitter cardstocks. I save every little tiny bit of it because I can always die cut little stars and little things from them. Yeah, so stuff like that. There's all kinds of things, but like ink or a little bit of paint on my palettes, I don't worry about that kind of stuff. Again, these tubes of gouache, enormous. The watercolor tubes, even though they're small, like I said in my spiel at the beginning, those will last the average person probably the rest of their life. You don't need much. I did those 2 little dots, and I got 2 full backgrounds out of them. So anyway, okay, same thing. I've added my water. I'm going to put some on my block here, and I'm not adding very much. I just want a little. Let's see if I can manage this. I just want a little bit of splatter of the black, not a lot. Okay, let's see if Amy can. Just a bit. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. We have to talk. You have to be really, really quiet when you're doing delicate splatter. Really quiet. We're hunting wabbits. Wascally wabbits. I've actually done that. Not hunted them, but asked the unpaid intern. There have been evenings where we're sitting outside and we'll see the like neighborhood rabbits show up and I'll be like chasing after them like, let me love you. This time of year I do love them. It's in the winter that I don't, when they come and they eat my flowering crabapple tree. Then I don't like the rabbits. They make me mad. Okay. Boop. Oh, that's hilarious. I got the teensiest little splatter right on his little nose. Probably can't even see it on camera, but like it landed in the perfect spot. Okay, stop with splatter, Amy, before you wreck everything. Okay, this is good. Will the blocks stay melt? Not really. Things like the acrylic, the Petal Palette, they don't stain in theory. However, it most this wipe is getting gross. It mostly comes off. There might be some residue. You can kind of see it there. That though will come off with a little bit of either like rubbing alcohol, a little bit of hand sanitizer, cleans it right off. Not a big deal. So yeah, I let my splatter block, whatever block I've grabbed, get as gunky as I can handle. And then when it really drives me nuts, then I clean it with a little bit of hand sanitizer. And yeah, it'll be fine. And then the Petal Palette, for the most part, yeah, because we're done with the splatter. It just comes right off. If there is residue, because again, more often than not, I let everything just dry on it and then I clean it up when I'm done a project. And if there is, you know, gunk on it, I just take it to the sink, a little bit of soap and water. This thing cleans right up. The only reason I'm wiping it up now is so I don't get my elbow in it, because it happens. There we go. Yep. There. See, now my palette is beautiful. Oh, there's one little mark. Nah, not worried about that. Love it. I love this palette. I now keep it like right beside me because you guys see me. I use it a lot. Okay. Okay. So we've got our cards like so. And then we have that. And I did my sentiments ahead of time, so we are getting close to being done. I used the Winter Woodland set that was also from the July release, which is fabulous. Like, look at that background. Seriously. Seriously. This would be a fun one to heat emboss and then do like a watercolor wash over, and so many things. So many things. So there's the, like, it's just such a fun set. And then the sentiments, and there is a coordinating die set that will die cut this tree. And actually this tree, that shape, it's like where the stamps are is in this background as well. So you could like die cut, inlay, do so many different, like so many things. So many things. It's a great set. But the sentiments is what I'm using today. So I stamped them with Obsidian Pigment Ink onto the lightest shade, the Misty Morning. Oh, I've got like black. I have black wash all over me. Anyway, I stamped them with Obsidian, Altenew's Obsidian Pigment Ink onto the Misty Morning cardstock. And then I just heat embossed them with clear embossing powder because I wanted to use, yeah, I definitely wanted this one, yes, for this. And I die cut scraps to stack together to build dimension, because dimension is life. So we got that one. Sending Cozy Woodland Wishes. We'll do Winter Hugs on that one. And then this one, honestly, I think I just want to send, or do I want to do Sending Winter Magic Your Way? Ooh, yeah, I like that one. Let's do that one. Let's do Sending Winter Magic Your Way with this one. And then we'll put May Your Days Be Warm and Cozy on the inside. So we'll send the rest. I'm going to save for future projects because that's what we're going to do. So while I am adhering my sentiments together, the unpaid intern can pick some winners. So, that stamp would be great. Or the paint technique. Yes. Yeah, I watched. I didn't, and I forgot to comment. I'm a bad stalker of Kathy's. I watched her video with the paint. It was fun. I'm still shocked that Kathy does not have that many colors. Like, what the heck, man? You've got a ways to go to catch up. But it's funny. I had seen some of the same content doing that sort of thing, and I'm glad she made a video like and cards inspired by like dragging the paint like that. I need to do something similar. It was fun. But yeah, you could do backgrounds like that and then like stamp and heat emboss sets like that over it. That would be really fun. That would be really fun. Again, I need more hours in the day, y'all. Like, so much good inspiration, so many fun techniques, so many things. There are many makers I've sent messages to where I'm like, I loved what you made. I need to do a video inspired by you. And it's on my to-do list. I'll get to it at some point. Here we go. Okay. Like making sure I'm not transferring. Like all that gouache in my thumb is just... It'll scrub off. I'm not worried about it. But yeah. There we go. So we got that one. I'm going to stick my magnet on them just to let those layers like firm up a little bit. There we go. Actually, let's use a bigger magnet. So we'll let this get lined up. There you go. Okay, we'll let that guy dry because then this one will go on the inside. We'll do the same thing with this guy. Better late than never. Oh yeah, that's the beauty of live streams. Thankfully, people can catch the replay or they can just start right at the beginning. Yeah. I am appreciative of anyone who watches any of my content. You know, you guys that show up for my lives, love it. The ones that watch my pre-recorded, which is the bulk of my content, the pre-recorded edited videos, all of it. I appreciate everybody that shows up to my corner of the interwebs and yeah, engages with my crafty chaos. Okay. So there's that layer. And then this one. How do you remember everything you want to make? Please tell me you have to write it down. Some of it I literally it just brews in the back of my head for forever. But, oh yeah, no. I have random notebooks. I have sticky notes all over the place because especially if like an idea like really springs on me and I'm just like, oh, that's a good one. I'll scribble it on a sticky note and then I have piles of sticky notes all over the place. Sometimes I think I even have some in my notes, like on my phone, because depending, like I'll see something and I was like, oh, and then I'll just get an idea and I'll be like, whoa. So, yeah, I literally have a really nice, like, I showed it in a video years ago, because I don't know if they make it anymore, a card layout plan book from Trinity Stamps. I've used that and I have a bunch of ideas in there that I need more hours in the day to get to all the things. Okay, so we've got that. Let's adhere the sentiments to the inside. Since they were stamped and die cut ahead of time, it's just easier. Otherwise, I would have just stamped them like with the block ink, but you know, this also works. So we're going to adhere him to the inside. Plus, it's just easier because because it's a pigment ink, it does take a bit to dry. And I'm really bad for, like, I'll stamp it and then immediately go, and, like, transfer the ink. It happens. But, again, I can't do clean and simple to save my life. Like, I didn't do too bad. I got a bit of splatter. Usually there's, like, splatter smears on the back of my cards. Like, it is what it is. I don't really care. They're handmade. You know? They're handmade. So we got that, and then we can adhere this one to the inside of this card, like this. Let's line her up like that. Love it. Removed a little bit of cat hair. Is he still in here?
Yeah, I think so.
It's been very quiet. He most likely is. He's probably having a nap.
Yeah, I'm sure he fell asleep.
I wonder if he's still under the couch or if you went and found another hiding spot. Little goofball. He'll come out when he thinks he hears the food bag. Okay, so got that. There we go. Oh, so good. It's so good. Love these colors. I don't know why I do. I just do. And again, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Imagine just doing the exact same supplies, technique, yada, yada, but just changing the colors. Doing it in greens. Doing the silhouettes in black and like, sky is the limit. There's so much you can do with sets like this, and it just makes me happy. Okay. There we go. Love it. Yes. Got that one. And then we've got, get my magnets out of the way before I end up like knocking them over. And then we'll do this one. And these cards are going to be complete. I'll show the shimmer of the shimmery splatter too, because it's pretty. It's pretty. Mm-hmm. There we go. Oof, this was a long live. I was having fun, and we did 2 cards, you know? It was fun. I hope everybody else had fun. So there we go, you guys. There's our finished cards. So, let me zoom in. Did those watercolor backgrounds. I will get into the spiel for those that missed the discount. There we go. Hello Kitty. Oh yeah. I thought about, I really was fighting with myself because I was getting overwhelmed. Because I was like, oh, the color combos I could do for especially like watercolory backgrounds. Like, again, sky's the limit. But I was in a blue mood, and that's what won. But there's our finished cards. Let's see if I can. It's hard to show if you focus on like sort of one area. I wonder if we can really show that like shimmery. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a pink iridescent to it, but it still works. But it is difficult to. It's difficult to show on camera. It's there. It's pretty. Ooh, there we go. You can kind of see it sparkling. You know? It's there. It's beautiful. We'll see it better on that one, though. But yeah, there's the one with the beautiful jack pine tree. And then that silhouette from the Forest Friends silhouettes. And then that blend on the inside. I do love how that turned out. That's so good. That's so good. And then this one using just the Forest Friends silhouette. This one's got that bigger splotch on it, so that'll show up. There's that bit of sparkle. You know? It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. So yeah. Got that. And then same thing. So yeah. Those were the finished cards. And then the spiel about the discount for those that tuned in late. I have, because it's only good for the code only works for today and tomorrow, and it's 40% off the 3 different watercolor brush sets that Altenew has. So the foundation brush set, the fine watercolor brushes, the round watercolor brushes, and I did show those. So those that tuned in later, if you go back to the beginning, I show the different brush sets and the Petal Palette. So you can get just one of them, you can get all of them, whatever you want. But you can get 40% off with my code, which is really sweet. The other spiels were free shipping in the US. And tonight on orders over, I think it was like $49. I have it on my sales page. And I also have a class. I'm doing a class with Altenew. The link to that is in the description box below as well. There's like 4 pre-recorded lessons, and then I'm going live with them for that class at the end of August. It's fun. Mushrooms, man. So there is all that. There we go. So there's our finished cards. Who am I sending these to?
Today's winners are Catherine from Nova Scotia.
Catherine in Nova Scotia.
And Rebecca in South
And Rebecca in South Carolina.
Carolina.
These won't get mailed out probably for a couple months. I set them aside. I don't forget. And then I do a, selfie and let everybody know. But yeah. They're holiday themed. So, yeah, they won't get mailed out. Yeah, most likely for a while. But, yay. And then my last little reminder. I will be going live on Saturday. Because I will not be going live next Sunday. But I will go live instead on Saturday. Probably same time. I haven't set it up yet. But that is the plan. As of right now. Is that I'll go live on Saturday, and then, yeah, we'll make something. We'll make something. I'm flying by the seat of my pants, as always. It's live. The live class for that class, it says it's on a Friday, I think, but it will be available when everything is said and done, because it's like the Altenew records it, and then it just gets added, so anyone can access it later. So, yeah, but the dates of all the things are in the listing for that class. So I'm excited. It's my first full class all by myself. I'm a mess. I'm a mess. Goodbye on pay and turn. You didn't even wave. You're just gone. It's been a long life. It's all good.
I need to go to the bathroom.
Okay, goodbye. Oh my goodness, I'm literally sweating. So anyway, yeah, this was fun. I'm glad these turned out. I had like this whole rough idea in my head, and then yeah, did a bunch of die cutting and playing around and all the things, and yeah. So yeah, stay tuned. I'm not sure how many videos I'll have coming this week, and then I'll go live on Saturday. And yeah, I think that's it for all of the housekeeping, etc., etc. This was fun. This was fun. I know. I got all the codes. All the rest, I was updating my sales page before I went live. That's linked directly below. Because, yeah, it's got all the different current Altenew ones going on, plus my code. And then anything else that's going on at the moment. And that's it. This was a longer one. I appreciate those that have stuck with me through the whole thing. It was fun. The last couple lives I've kept a little shorter because I have a lot on my plate. I still have a lot on my plate, but oh, these were fun. And yeah, this will get added to my holiday 2026 card series playlist, which for those on the replay, it'll be in the end screen because I can't add that till after YouTube processes the video. But I'm going to keep making holiday cards up until whenever, you know? And yeah, I'm not sure how many videos in that playlist so far. I think there's like half a dozen so far. All kinds of ideas. And more will be coming because we're getting into more like holiday releases in fall. And I started my Halloween series yesterday. It's on my YouTube channel. The Halloween one is going to be kind of very disjointed. I've got a lot on my plate. I don't have my accessories out. I forgot about them until I was doing up the blog post for the video. And then I was like, I have all my little skeleton hands and my bat light and all the things. They're in a bin. I can't even access it right now. It's way high up on the garage wall. I have to get a ladder to get it. And I have nowhere to put the ladder. So, whatever. But yeah, the Halloween series started yesterday. There will be more coming. I got a lot. So, Halloween cards and Christmas and holiday cards and regular cards and summer theme and all of it. All the things. I do all the things. It's fun. So, anyway, I'm going to clean up my mess. I am going to get my other fan going to cool off this space because I'm sweating. It is hot in here. It's gross. I'm feeling very swampy and nasty. I feel disgusting. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I'll do the social medias for this, the photos and the social media posts and the blog post and all of it. A couple of us mentioned it being bat light time. I know. I gotta pull out all the things. The only Halloween thing I have, because I can't put it away because it's too big, Chris got me this last year. Oh. Oof. I needed to be able to sit up. That helps. He got me this at Costco last year. Isn't he cute? It's a, So yeah. I've got my goofy little pillow. He's soft. So he picked that up for me at Costco last year for my decor. And it's too big to fit in the bin, so he just sits with me all year round. It makes me happy. Anywho, that's it. Thank you to Altenew for giving the discount code to me. I appreciate it. I'm giving it to you guys. Because, yeah, 40% off those brushes and the Petal Palette. Love that. That was the other one. And it's on my sales page. Because that was only for today. There was a bundle of the black instant dimension foam tape. That's 40% off too. Today only. No code needed for that. It's in my sales page. It's linked below. I think that's all the housekeeping. I don't think there was anything else. Amy, watch Hocus Pocus. Confession. I've never seen it. I know I need to, and I'm going to. I'm gonna watch it. I've never seen Hocus Pocus. I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm sure I'm going to absolutely love it. I've also never seen Practical Magic. It's on my list as well to watch. I have the books, haven't read them yet either. But yeah, I need to, because I'm sure I'm going to love them. And I work too much. I work too much, but it's on my list. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. So yeah. Oh my stars. I know. There's actually quite a lot of staple movies and TV shows and different things that just I missed out on. That's a whole other story. I've talked about it in other live streams. We're not getting into it today because I gotta go. But yeah, I'm slowly like catching up on different things. Like I finally got a chance to watch, what was the one that I finally got to watch? I don't even remember now. But yeah, Chris and I watched it a couple months ago, and it was a movie that just like everybody has seen except for me. And it was good times. It's been kind of fun, like watching some of this stuff. So, anywho. Well, we all need to watch Hocus Pocus. Everyone like raves about it. You know, I think it's just kind of like a good time. So I plan to. Okay. I'm going to go clean up my mess and get my fans turned on because I feel gross, and do the photos and all the other work. I appreciate all of you, like I keep saying, but it's true. It's true. I love what I do, and I think I have some of the best audience on the interwebs because they're mine. So, oh yeah, the Haunted Mansion. I haven't seen that one either. I'll get to it. Eventually. Anywho, I'm gonna go and clean things up and get a whole bunch of other work done, and I will see you all very soon in another video. Live on Saturday is the plan. It'll get set up later. I don't know if I'll set up today, but it'll get set up, and whatever. But yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I will see you all later. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!